Welcome back to Talk a Good Game, a show all about, you guessed it, good games. I'm your host, Andrew Wolf. Joining me today, a singer, drummer, songwriter, video game critic, podcaster, guide writer, and man of my dreams, Briant Barnett.
Oh, the praise. The lavish praise. Oh,
How are
my
you?
Lord. I can't
Last time we spoke, I didn't have an intro, so I'm glad I do this time.
It's true. You know, I was there in the days, the Wild West, when it was just the frontier, and you were blazing your own trail through the wilds. And now, not only do you have a machete, but those are clear cut paths. Some foot trails have begun to emerge.
Here we are.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. As I was telling you before we started recording just a couple of days ago, I had my second child with my wife, and that is going really, really well.
I'm so excited.
She's so chill, just vibes.
I've heard the second baby's easier, but I wouldn't know.
I've heard the opposite.
Really?
Yes, I've heard that the second baby is usually crazy.
Oh, well, maybe it's just your perspective. I mean, because you know what baby is. You know what baby is now.
Yeah, that part is true, and I have found that to be the case. It's way easier. Excuse me. Getting up to speed now because I know what I'm in for. Mm-hmm. Also, the delivery was way faster this time. I almost missed it actually. It was
You're playing Balatro or something, or
no, I was sleeping because it was supposed to take a while, and then I got up because there was a bunch of noise, and the nurses and Audrey were like, I was like, am I gonna miss it? If I sit down or rest some more, and they're like, no, don't worry, you'll know, we'll tell you. And then I didn't. I stayed up. And then it just happened. It wasn't even 10 minutes later and the baby was born.
You would have missed it for sure.
She pushed once or twice, period. And then it was done. It was done.
That's amazing.
Really wild. But yeah, she's very chill. We didn't stay in the hospital as long. And she's just been kind of a dream. Which part of that is we're not nervous. So that there is all that energy that we're bringing to the situation. Kids like dogs can just pick up on your vibes. And so the fact that we're so chill and relaxed because we know what we're doing, it's just way easier to fall back into that rhythm. So
well, congratulations.
That is really great.
Yeah. Not only are you father to a second child, you're also father to a new business,
Yes, which happened 2 or 3 days before that. Yeah. So my baby came several weeks early, but just before that, some of my colleagues and I, Will Berger and Lucas White, and myself launched an independent, worker-owned video game site for criticism and all those sorts of things. It's called Skybox. You can find it at skyboxcritics.com. It's also Skybox critics at bluesky.social on Bluesky, which a bunch of people followed us immediately, which was very, very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We've already got some pieces up. Will and I wrote a welcome piece kind of commenting on the state of the games industry and specifically games press, which has just been tumultuous to say the very least.
Yeah.
Layoffs everywhere, investment firms coming in and gutting institutions that have been around for a long time that have kind of unique voices in the space. It happened to Kotaku, it happened to Polygon, it happened to Game Informer, it happened to Giant Bomb, and then Game Informer and Giant Bomb have been able to come back, which is great.
Yeah, it's rare.
Very rare, yes.
Which is weird that they're happening sort of back to back.
Yeah.
But they are extremely rare. And it's just feels like it's been a nice injection of some good news with, Skybox and then a week later or whatever, Giant Bomb's oh, we're going independent. And then a couple months ago, Game Informer coming back. It's good to see, it sort of change, that sort of change.
Yeah. It's not all bad news in the industry as well. There are a lot of great games coming out, and also, big sites like IGN and Activision Blizzard have unionized, to various extents. So there is pushback against, some of the more malign forces in this industry that are just out to turn a profit and don't really care about the art or the consumer or anything like that. So basically the idea behind Skybox was we, as industry writers in games press, and I think all of us, we have like over 30 years of combined experience in the industry. And we know that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get greenlit if you pitch it at like big sites. There are a lot of really cool, smaller games that don't get oxygen that they need to thrive because they just don't push clicks. So this service to clicks and traffic and ad revenue and all this sort of stuff has had this deleterious effect on the industry where only the biggest dog gets to eat. And when it's crazy because there's enough food for everyone. Like there's enough room at the table for everyone, but there's just there was a lot of opportunities being left on the table. And so we felt a responsibility as, you know, tastemakers and curators of gaming to highlight stuff that's awesome, whether or not it would push clicks or not, or like some stories would not get greenlit other places. So we've got some really cool stuff in the works right now. We've also got some stuff that's just like fun for jokes. You know, like Lucas's, he used to do this at like Prima, but his like kind of 2024 game awards, but it's like the Razzies basically. It's just like joke awards that he gives to kind of, you know, backhanded compliment various things that are going on. It's just very silly. And there's a lot of room for that. And yeah.
It's rad.
We got a lot of cool people who want to work with us, which is really nice. Yeah.
And clearly you've got your hands full right now, but I'm looking forward to seeing some more work from you go up there. I know, you know, like you and I have kept in contact for I don't know however long we've known each other, 10 years or whatever.
Since 2017, yeah.
Yeah, almost, yeah, I guess 8 years. And I know you've had a lot of things that you've had to sit on because, like you said, it just didn't get greenlit and at the places you were working at. And not to shame anybody, I know, you know, the business has got to be run. It's not easy to run a business in the games industry, especially right now. But yeah, it's cool. I love seeing independent creators create. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, once things calm down at home, once you're getting a little bit more sleep and all that, I'm looking forward to seeing some more writing from you. But you mentioned that this is a great year in the industry. Well, at least for video games being released. You're not kidding. Like there's so many good games right now. I feel like I'm like that meme where they're all handing that woman a plate of food and she's like overwhelmed, like, oh, I don't know what food to take. Like I really feel like that right now. I'm gearing up to fly to Japan. As of this recording, I'm flying out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, and I've got my Switch. I realize this is probably my final trip with my OG Switch. It's an OLED, but the Switch 1 rather than Switch 2, and loaded up on it. I've got Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I'm 50 hours into now. I would love to wrap up Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on this trip, and 100-line Last Defense Academy.
Yeah,
I haven't started that yet, but I'm getting ready to dive into that. So like, I'm just there's a lot of things. Not only those, like those are just what I'm playing on Switch right now, but there's so much else. I've been dabbling, but I'm curious, before Cinco de Mayo, birthday, of your new child, what have you been playing?
Just like throughout this year?
Yeah. Anything you've been like super jazzed about so far this year?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always some really cool stuff. You know, you talked about wanting to see more writing from me. The first of my column pieces is up on Skybox, where I talk about my experience with Monster Hunter Wilds and how I finally get it, and that this was the game after several attempts. This is the game that finally got me.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much of the article, so don't give away too much of it. But I'm curious, like, what didn't click with you with other Monster Hunter games? Because I've bounced off them as well, so I'm curious if we've like overlapped there.
So I tried World. I bounced off of World because it's, as I get older and as I have more responsibilities and things, it is more and more important for developers and games and just things in general to respect my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll watch, the Star Wars Obi-Wan series, and I'll be like, no, this should have been a movie. This is way too much time.
Yeah.
Nothing happening.
Yeah.
It's a waste. And very early on in Monster Hunter World, there is a fight. It's like really your first tough fight, but it happens right after you kind of escort some people who are pushing a cart along. And I died to the monster, and then it started me at the beginning of like the cart pushing escort thing, and I'm like, no.
Nope.
If we're this, or if the foot that you are putting forward is that you're gonna make me redo some tedious stuff in a game that is over 100 hours long, that is about the grind, how much of my time are you planning on wasting before this is all done? And so I just was like, no.
Noped out. Had you played the previous Monster Hunter games?
I believe the only one that I had played before that with any kind of commitment was Freedom Unite, which I believe was the PSP or one of the PSP games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I get what you mean though. Like I just I understand their appeal. I definitely understand their appeal. And I definitely would have no-lifed them back when I had, the time to do that. But for me, I think I tried to play, I think it was Ultimate, 4 Ultimate on the 3DS. And for me, it was just like throw the paintball at the monster, beat it up a bunch, and then it like runs to another zone and I got to like go to 3 other zones to try to find it or whatever. And then I beat it up some more and it runs to another zone. And I haven't played Wilds, but it seemed like this is the most approachable Monster Hunter yet in ways that like streamlines a lot of that, right?
Yeah. It helps you to kind of track them as they go from one place to another, which has been really nice. Also, the menus are still not great, but they are better. And the game feels better, I think. Like in some of the older ones, like even the action felt kind of clunky. Mm-hmm. And in this one, it just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just me finding the right weapons or something, but it feels a lot better.
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing on PC.
Yeah. Does it run on Steam Deck? Because I know you're a big Steam Deck guy.
No, it does not. And that's like the only mark against it. Like it runs, but then it crashes. If you stream it to Steam Deck, it actually is pretty good.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I've been doing it, which is the same with like another really great game that I've been playing, which is Expedition 33, Clair Obscur.
Yes.
Which runs well on Steam Deck. It just doesn't look that good.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because that game is fucking beautiful.
Really beautiful. Yes. So I've also been kind of streaming that to play on my Steam Deck. But yeah, that game is very, very good.
Both those games, like I kind of fully expect both those games to come to Switch too. I can't imagine Wilds not coming to Switch too, right?
Yeah. I mean, they do. Capcom has a legacy with putting stuff everywhere, but particularly on Nintendo consoles, even when people like weren't super into them, and even on the PSP, like back before that was a thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would imagine they would probably go there.
Yeah, and I'm dying for Expedition 33 to come to Switch too. Like I've been playing it on. Good. I've been playing it on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass, right? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, I've been playing it on my Series X, and wow, that's one of the games I've been dabbling in. I'm a few hours in. I think I just like unlocked the world map area. Maybe that's not even a few hours, but I've got the world map, and like I've been traveling a little bit, and I'm not very far in. But
did you go to the coral place yet?
Yeah, the like underwater. This is super early, so this isn't like crazy spoilers. It's like you're underwater, but you're walking normal, but like everything looks like you're underwater, and it's
very cool.
I don't cuss a lot on the show, but it's fucking awesome. It's so beautiful.
It's really creative. Yeah.
There's I won't knock it too hard. There's a couple of clunky things, and they're clunky in the way that's like it feels like a team's first attempt at making some menus and some of the, I don't know, some of the gameplay aspects are a little bit clunky. For me, it's the Pictos and Luminas. Like the fact that you have to like equip them, unlock some new stuff. How about this, Brian? Let's rewind a little bit. Do you want to give people an overview of what this game even is? I feel like I just jumped right into talking about it.
Yeah, it's a turn-based RPG made by, I believe this is the first game ever made by this French studio, which is just ridiculously impressive, if I'm recalling correctly. But yeah, it's called Sandfall Interactive, and it's a turn-based, party-based role-playing game with like timing elements as part of the turn-based combat. So if you've played Legends of Dragoon, or you've played Sea of Stars, or some of these sorts of games, that stuff is in there. Also, like Mario, Paper Mario. If you're listening to Wolf over here, you're probably more in the Nintendo camp, so that's probably
Paper
the
Mario,
poll that I should have for you.
Super Mario RPG.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's set in this fantastical world where there is a giant woman called the Paintress, and every year she wakes up and paints a number on the side of a monolith, and every year the number counts down by 1, and then once that happens, everybody that is that age dies.
And it started with 100.
It started with 100, yeah. And now she's just drawn, 33, I think.
Yeah.
And so this is Expedition 33. There have been expeditions every year to try to stop her. And so you are part of Expedition 33.
Yeah.
It's very well acted. Charlie Cox is the main character. So if you like Daredevil, he's the main character. Main character also looks exactly like Robert Pattinson, which is very strange.
Yeah, it's impressive, really.
But
yeah, and
it's great.
What's I can't remember the art style that the like melting clocks and stuff. What is that?
Like surreal.
Yeah,
surrealist or
I feel like this art style is like a surrealist. Like it's weird.
Yes,
there's a lot of very like doesn't make sense gravity wise, and like we were just talking about a minute ago, like you're underwater but you're not underwater. The monsters are all like grotesque, but not in like a Saw 4, people getting holes drilled in them kind of way. They're just like weird. Although maybe maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. Yeah. But I feel like this has sort of penetrated the video game like zeitgeist. Like it's I feel like it's been on everybody's mind. I feel like everybody's been talking about it lately. It's especially nice that it's like I was saying, free to play on Game Pass, if you have Game Pass, and it's $50. And $50 in a time where video games are not $50 is
are going up.
Yeah, is impressive to have this sort of quality of a game. Especially it's like 25 to 60 hours long, according to How Long to Beat. But for $50, like, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I was explaining to Scott, who is 1/3 of Team Deku that runs Deku Deals, that it feels like one that's like, even if you're not into JRPGs, and this is not a JRPG, maybe you could call it a JRPG, but it was developed in France. But even if you're not into, yeah, the start of the FRPG genre. I mean, even if you're not into JRPGs or like turn-based games or whatever, like especially if you have Game Pass, check this out. That's a no-brainer if you have Game Pass. But how far are you in it?
I'm about 5 hours in.
5 hours.
I had to stop because reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one that, we were talking about games coming to Switch 2, like this is one that I would love to have on Switch 2 because for me, it's so convenient to be able to just chip away at stuff. And it's hard for me to do that on a dedicated console or on PC. And I love being able to chip away on like Switch games. But if it runs well on Steam Deck, I don't know. I'm going to wait until Switch 2. It's got to be coming to Switch 2. So.
Well, you keep the faith, brother, and I will pray for you. As for me and my house, we will stay with the PC. As a matter of fact, I just found out that my sister-in-law just got a Steam Deck, and she's very excited for that to come in. So
did you get the OLED?
We're about to get. I don't think so. I think I don't know. I'll have to check. I imagine I have the OLED.
Yeah, and you got the OG OLED, right, with like the special red accents?
No, I don't.
Damn it. Why I want that one so bad,
up?
Dude.
Oh, I'm so angry. No, it's not even red accents. It's orange. It's
Are they orange?
And gray.
I'm colorblind.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law has that one, and I'm so envious.
I've been playing a bunch of Dread Delusion on my Steam Deck lately.
Oh, very nice.
It really makes me want an OLED Steam Deck, but I just bought a Switch 2, and I hope my fiance is not, that's a French word, fiancé, is not listening to this episode yet. I bought her a Switch 2 secretively. So we're like very broke right now.
Very nice. Very nice.
And,
not the being broke, but the very nice gift.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm glad you're broke because you reminded me I don't have the special.
That's true. Yeah, you do deserve it. But no, I love you. I want you. I want you to be flush with cash.
It does make me wish I had.
Then you could buy me a Switch 2.
Oh yeah, buying everybody Switch 2s. It does make me wish. Dread Delusion does make me wish I had a Steam Deck OLED because it is like. In fact, in the last episode I recorded, I described it as a EverQuest fever dream. Like it just is like, it's like an EverQuest fever dream acid trip. It's just so weird. Mushroom trip, actually, weird. Quite literally. People making magic mushroom tea in the game and drinking it and having like spiritual revelations and stuff. So, have you played Dread Delusion?
Oh yeah, I previewed it back at PAX in
many moons ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. So I've had that. It's been in early access for a while. It's very, very fun.
Is it still in early access? I don't even know.
I believe so.
Or did it go 1.0?
Check it.
Great game. It's, I was wanting to play, I think what actually got me thinking about it was
Oblivion. It's straight up out.
Yeah. Wow.
May 14th.
When did it go 1.0?
I don't know.
Anyway, I was wanting to play it because the Oblivion remaster was dropping and everybody was talking about it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play Oblivion though. And then I had this on my radar for a long time and it went on sale. I got my notification from my Deku Deals app, shameless plug. And I picked it up. I think it was like $13. It's been great.
Worth it. Yeah.
I've been hooked.
It's really fun.
I've been totally hooked. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's I think what I appreciate about it the most is it's got excellent writing, like surprisingly good writing. For it's not really an RPG. Like you don't design your character, like there's no character creation, at least that I can remember.
No, I think you pick your class, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't even remember picking a class. Honestly, like I didn't know anything about it when I jumped in. So like the beginning is kind of a blur, but you get into this groove of like my favorite part of these sorts of Skyrim or blanking on other games like Skyrim, but is exploration. I love exploration. And exploration in this is awesome because I'm wandering around and I stumble upon a giant, massive mushroom that has a hallway inside, and like I can go up and I'm like fighting monsters the whole way, and it's just bizarre. But the writing is superb.
Which is also true of Expedition 33.
Yes, and like you were saying, getting back from the tangent, Expedition 33's, I think the voice acting is like I'm really surprised by how good the voice acting is.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Especially, I mean, I don't think it's these voice actors' first time recording something, but for a first time studio, and I don't know who handled the voice acting parts of it, but I'm surprised by how well it's being received and how well it was done. And I've been seeing a lot of people call it like one of the best RPGs of all time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say that like this is definitely going to be discussed as game of the year. And several people I know who have beaten it have said, yeah, that's going to be with me probably forever, so I'm very excited to proceed. I mean, it starts off dealing with things, it is as my buddy Will, likes to say, it is a game about things, which is, it's hard enough to make a good game, but to make a good game that also talks about difficult subjects and does it well, and does it in such a way that it actually can evoke those powerful emotions in us. I mean, I think that's just laudable and should be celebrated.
Yeah, should be embraced, and it's being embraced. To be fair,
It is.
It's got
It's not like the games we've talked about so far are not like some sleepers.
No,
I mean, Dread Delusion is, but
Dread Delusion's the sleeper.
Yeah.
But Clair Obscur is getting a plenty of attention, and I'm really happy about that. Let's see what else. What else has been on your plate?
Speaking of good writing, when was the last time we talked? That was before
December?
That was before we did the Game of the Year episode for the platforms, right?
Yeah, it was yeah, we chatted in December.
Okay. Well, speaking of games with good writing, have you ever played Caves of Cud?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I bought that when it went 1.0 full release or whatever. I don't even know what do you even say about this game? Like it's mind blowing,
very insane. Yes. So it's all about like possibility space and just weird stuff happening. So
it's yeah, you want to give it a like elevator pitch?
You know what? Why don't you do it?
I'm so bad. Okay, let's see if I can do it. So my problem is I always go like, you know the game Dwarf Fortress? Yeah, that one. But if you don't know what any of these games are, it's hard for me to relate. It's the graphics are would you even call them graphics? I guess everything's graphics, but
it started.
Thank you, Brian. I knew if I stumbled enough that you would just take over. That was my plan.
This is how you know that Wolf and I are old friends. This is the old married couple thing of like the guy does something incompetently so that the woman will come along and be like, just let me.
Yeah. It's exactly what I'm like. All right, I'm just going to stumble enough till Brian pities me.
So it started as an ASCII art game. So like originally it kind of didn't have graphics. But then, with the overhaul and everything, now it does. I was going to say, this is actually kind of a piece with Dread Delusion and some other games that I'm going to mention that I've really been enjoying, where like a return to very old, very simple graphical styles really is so crunchy to me. I love it. I don't know why this has been a thing that's been happening, but with like Loop Hero and Dread Delusion and Caves of Cud and SKALD against the Black Priory. Like there are all of these games where they look like either old PC games or, whatever, just like graphics from a bygone era. Mm-hmm. And there's something about that just hits me just right,
They're graphics of a bygone era, but they're mechanics of the current and or future time. Like they're graphics, older graphics, but and not necessarily all of them have crazy mechanics, but it feels like it's like refined. The mechanics that they have are refined and perfected, and therefore like they have these graphics of things maybe you feel some nostalgia for, but also for me it's like games that just run really well because they're not trying to push the limits of our current graphical capabilities.
One thing I really like about this is I feel like it's reintroducing some of the creative thrust behind the older games that would have been created when games looked like this. So like with Shovel Knight, like that's a game that plays like how you remember DuckTales plays. But it doesn't play like DuckTales.
Yeah, because if you go back and play DuckTales.
And so it's like, it's like when you play a remaster of a game, it's like, well, this is how I remember it looking. And then you go back and play the original. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it did not look this good. Yeah. That's kind of what it is. Constraints often fuel some of the coolest innovations. And so now in a world where developers have basically all the computing power they need to do whatever they want, sometimes adopting the old aesthetic, adopting the old kind of mechanical sensibilities can kind of focus you into an area where you can kind of boil something down to its essence and then decide what direction you want to take it in. And I really like that. Like with Dread Delusion, it's like, what if we did Morrowind, but it was Eldritch Horror, and it was set in this like weird sky islands where there's a bunch of mushrooms growing and there's this crazy cult running all over the place. And you're basically a prisoner who's been offered freedom in exchange for doing this like really heinous thing that you need. And then in Loop Hero, it's like, what if a roguelike, but also it's like kind of a city builder, but like the city you're building is like your enemy city, which is like the weird part about Loop Hero. And then with SKALD against the Black Priory, it's like, okay, what if you could play through a party-based RPG from back in the day, but instead of being dark, in quotes, like Gauntlet, it's dark like Lovecraft and like really messed up body horror and awful stuff like that, And I really like that. It lets developers who really have excellent writing chops to show it off. Because like I don't know if I have talked about SKALD against the Black Priory, but that was one of my best, like one of my top games of last year. That is, I think, the best horror game I've ever played. I think it's the best Lovecraft thing that I've ever played.
Really?
Like it is inspired by Lovecraft, and a lot of times what that means is, oh, we're gonna take something that's very strange from out of space, but they don't really capture the essence of what makes Lovecraft writing so evocative, which is just the utter strangeness of it. Just the absolute strangeness and how terrifying that oddity can be. And how completely ambivalent to human life and human norms forces as elemental as this can be. And that's like something that they really capture with SKALD.
I'm just looking it up now. I'm getting like Heroes of Might and Magic vibes. Yeah. I'm getting I'm hearing these words you're saying, and again, this is SKALD, SKALD. I'll put links in the description as well. But SKALD against the Black Priory. Yes. And like I'm hearing these words you're saying, and I'm looking at these graphics, and damn, the writing must be superb, because the graphics are not like, they're not bad. I really like them. They're crunchy, I think is the right way to put that. But like in order to give you those feelings, I think it must have something special beyond the graphics.
It's very good.
And I think Caves of Cud, similarly, is like crunchy. And I think like if you just watched a video of it or just looked at screenshots, like, I don't know, this looks like it would be overwhelming and confusing, and it is overwhelming and confused. Like there's a lot in this game. But there's something there, and I think if you give your time to it, and I'm speaking specifically on Caves of Cud because I haven't played the other games, but like I feel like if you put a little bit of time into it, Caves of Cud sucked me in a way that was like, I want to know more. Yeah, I want to learn more. And I'm trying to, like, there's a couple different options, but essentially you get dropped into this world. It's like a futuristic world where like everything has been destroyed basically, and there's like rust wells, and you have to go explore this world, and it seems like there's infinite possibilities.
It's pretty wild. I've actually been talking to some other people who've been playing it, and one of the things that they said is like one of the things that's procedurally generated is the story, which is weird. So like what individual character histories can be different based off of just whatever seed of the world that you're in. This person at the first town that you find that you talk to has this relationship with these people over there. And, this person, this time when you're playing the game, these two people in this village hate each other. And they hate each other so much that as soon as you spawn in, one of the guys is going to come over and murder the other one. And, what if, you respawn in here and one of the people has like a black hole grenade in his pocket or something, and it just goes off like randomly while you're out of town. It's like the way that I kind of explained it was, what if in Fallout 3 there was like Nuketown, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole thing revolves around you deciding whether you want to blow up that town or not. what if you lived in a world where Nuketown existed, but other people decided whether it blew up or not, and you just like you were just there in the world as another individual.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not some load-bearing person, I mean, you are important, but there is other stuff happening in this world that does not involve you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
on
I
Steam,
think that scope is very interesting.
And on Steam, there's the quote from the developer says, Caves of Code has a deeply simulated physical and political system, physical and political systems. And it's wild how much detail there is. And it's not all procedurally generated. There's also like some quests are scripted. Like I know I've died many times, and every time I go to this one town, like there's the same quest, but the quest, like whether or not like how you do it can be different each time. And like the area you go to can be different each time, or maybe is different each time. I don't even really know, but it's kind of mind boggling how the political systems and how the like, the different groups of people, I don't even know how to wrap my head around it myself, let alone describe it.
It's very interesting. I think people should give it a shot.
And it's not that expensive. I guess it's $30. I picked it up before it went. They raised the price to 30 after it went 1.0 because it was 20. Now it's up to 30. But it seems like it goes on sale every once in a while. Add it to your wish list and get an alert when it goes on sale. But I do love the graphics where they're like seems like it's inspired by ASCII art. But when you look at it, it's very clearly designed to look the way it looks, which is, I think, a inspired by ASCII art sort of design. But it's lovely. It's fantastic.
You know what? Something has just come to me. It is actually kind of similar to Outer Wilds. In the way that you explore and kind of learn more about ancient civilizations, and you're kind of going through old ruins and these sorts of things. I can see some parallels between them.
I had to search Outer Wilds because and we talked about this on the me and Michael and Scott talked about this in the first episode of Talk a Good Game. I can never remember which one is Outer Worlds and which one is Outer Wilds.
Worlds is the Obsidian one. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they came out at the same time, and they are forever broken in my brain.
Yep.
Wilds is still one that I want to get back to. Like I know that if I give it a real chance, I'll fall in love with it. I just I bounced off it pretty quickly. That's definitely one I want to get back to. Let's see. Wow, we've been talking about some good games. SKALD Against the Black Prior, Caves of Cud. At the beginning of our recording, I mentioned the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Are you on that at all?
I am not on that, but Lucas, fellow co-founder of Skybox, has been playing that and played through it, and I believe reviewed it for Shack News, and talked about it on the Platformers podcast. Yeah, he's a big fan of it. It's also like apparently super wild.
Yeah,
like in all the ways, like, you know, if you take Danganronpa and the Zero Escape games and mash them together because it's from those two creators, and then just like crank everything up to 11, that's kind of what's going on with it.
Yeah, and for those listeners that don't know Brian as intimately as I do, Brian you're a big turn-based strategy fan. Like you love Disgaea and games like that. What I don't know, like, do you like Persona? And like, this seems like it's Persona and Disgaea and.
Yes, I do like Persona. I really enjoyed Metaphor. I feel like that's a move. That's a big step forward for the that genre. But yeah, this is one of those where it's like, these sorts of. It's been a while since I played the Danganronpa games. I never played 3, and I played all the Zero Escape games, and I really liked those. But I'm not really hungry for one of those right now.
I think the other problem is like the big thing about this game, and this isn't a spoiler, is that there are 100 endings, 100 different possible endings.
That is not an exaggeration.
And it is, literally 100 possible endings. And I think, like, my understanding is if you want to see all of them, it's like 200 hours or something. Like you can, people, I saw somebody was talking about their plan to play this game is to play, they're like 30 hours, 40 hours in or whatever. You're getting a couple of different endings. They're going to play until they feel like they got an ending that was for them, like they're satisfied with, and then they'll go play something else. And then when they want to play it again, they can come back and get to other endings and that sort of thing. But I think part of the problem for this, and I imagine for you, because it is for me, is the length.
Yes.
Like it's, that's a lot. That's a lot of game. So I don't know, maybe this is a pass for you.
I mean, it definitely is for now. Maybe eventually I'll get back to it, but I've also been up to my eyeballs in another game that has kind of reconnected me with my long dormant love of team-based games.
Interesting.
That is Marvel Rivals.
Oh, I have been seeing you in Marvel Rivals every once in a while, like on your Discord status.
So good. Good.
Is it a card game? Explain like on 5, because I don't even really understand what Marvel Rivals
Marvel
is.
Snap is the card game.
Okay. All right.
Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 team-based third-person action game.
Overwatch-ish.
Kind of, yes. That is the main comparison, but there are some big differences. Marvel Rivals is more casual. It is easier to get into. Obviously, these are characters that like people already love. Mm-hmm. Iron Man is in there, Black Widow is in there, Spider-Man is in there, Venom, like all these sorts of characters. And it's also just really well done. And the gameplay is super fun. This has actually been a game that reconnected me with my cousin, who I had not really spoken to in a long time. It gave me an opportunity to hang out with my wife's cousin and her boyfriend and my cousin's cousin. So like, it's just a meeting of cousins, basically.
That's amazing.
So, we're going up, we're playing competitive. I'm also writing about it for work. So like I've written a bunch of character guides for Kotaku, which is fun.
Who's your main?
Who's my main?
Yeah. Is that a thing?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I rotate through a couple of characters. Right now my main is Human Torch. But I also play Moon Knight and Psylocke.
Nice. I think if I wasn't so burnt out on superheroes, I think I'd be super into it, because I was really into Overwatch.
It's really fun.
Great.
Like you might be burned out on superheroes, but you should probably try it out.
Yeah,
this
that
really
makes
fun.
me nervous. That makes me nervous that I'm going to get sucked into it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Come along with me, my friend. I'll shepherd you. It'll be great. No.
Yeah, for everyone listening, Brian, back in the old days, Brian. I'm not a fighting game player, and Brian is very much so. And he introduced me to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Is it FighterZ? I feel like I ask you this every time.
You ask me this every time.
and
the answer does not change. It's always fighters.
I know. And I'm like, okay, I got it right this time. And then I doubt myself.
Yes.
Anyway, so Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball's cool. I'm not crazy into Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball FighterZ, Brian has this crazy innate ability to like lower his skill level to match people, which I have never experienced in my life in this way. Like I have played with people where it's like clearly they're missing on purpose or not trying very hard or whatever, and it's kind of obvious that they're like dumbing themselves down. But when Brian introduced me to Dragon Ball FighterZ, it felt like I was like playing a ghost of myself. Like we were matched level wise, and I don't know how you do it. Like it's really impressive. And it got me to enjoy fighters for a few months. And so my nervousness from his comment there is that I'm going to get sucked into Rivals because he's going to do that for me. He's going to carry me along and teach me, and I'm going to fall in love with it. So we'll see how I feel when I get back from Japan.
Yeah. Runs great on Steam Deck.
Oh no, I'm only bringing my Switch. I can't bring multiple consoles to Japan.
Yeah.
So you've been dumping a bunch of hours into Rivals. Are you still playing Balatro?
Yes, I am. Not as much as I used to, just because I've conquered all of those. Yeah, I have 100%ed it.
That doesn't surprise me.
have conquered all of those shores, and there's, I weep for there are no more worlds to conquer.
This man, ladies and gentlemen, is a person who was screaming from the rooftops back in over a year ago, like February of 2024. You were like, look, people are not paying attention to this game. People need to pay attention to this game. And that was before people were really talking about it. I feel like it really took off when it went to iOS and Android in September, I think, of last year. I feel like it really blew up after that. I know before that, like some people that I respect were talking about it. But you were,
and then also me.
You were like yes. In addition to the people that I respect, also Briant Barnett. Yeah. But I feel like you were like the first person, not to get like hipster on everyone here, but Brian was like the first person I can think of that cared about Balatro. So you're welcome, everyone.
Yes, you are welcome.
/
I did this.
/ if you had launched Skybox in January of 2024.
Yeah, I would have been writing all the stuff about Skybox or about Balatro, and would have been like, hey, you heard it here first.
So what's our 2025 or 2026? We're like, what's a game where you're like, people are not paying attention to this and they need to, or maybe it's not out yet and you're like, it's not out yet, but I know it's going to be effing awesome. You got one for me? The pressure's really on now.
I have a couple.
Can you not talk about them? Are you under NDA?
No. I can talk about it. I guess it really depends on what you want. I don't have anything that's like on that level of Balatro, but I do have several things that are very good. So, did you ever play Citizen Sleeper?
No, I bought it. It went on like super deep discount at Best Buy for the Switch 2 physical, so I picked that up because I know Sleeper 2 came out.
Yes.
And I want to play that, but I feel like I need to play the first one first.
Yes. Citizen Sleeper, and you do need to play the first one because this one happens sometime after and can be informed by some of the stuff that happened in the first one.
Okay.
Not How like mechanically, not like Mass Effect. Like they're not that long. Like I feel like it can't be longer than like 15 hours or something. Let me check. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. Yeah, 16.5 hours. I beat it.
Solid. That's a solid amount of time. That's like not too long, not terribly short either.
Also, my God, talking about great writing. Yes.
Yeah. So this game's all writing, right? Like, is it like a visual novel? Like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Sort of visual novel.
But also the music is incredible in this game as well.
Okay.
And it really helps to set an emotional tone. So that's a really great one. I also really liked Thronefall. Did you ever play that?
Is that a tower defense game?
Yes.
But I did.
It is a tower defense game where like you don't have to decide where stuff goes. They just give you like potential, like one of 4 places where you can put like your different towers. So it really simplifies and boils it down. I found that to be like, I do not like tower defense games. I like this one.
Yeah. I played this one. I want to say it was a while ago. But I think I played it on my Mac, my laptop, and it worked pretty well. Like I was kind of surprised that it worked as well as it did.
Yeah.
Tower defense game. I feel like tower defense is not giving it the credit it deserves. Like yes, it is. No,
it's also it's like a strategy base building game as well. Yeah.
And it's also beautiful. Go look really at screenshots. Cool. Like the colors are super vibrant.
It's very saturated.
Yeah. Yes. In all the right ways. Like I love it.
The yellow, like the almost orange yellow
of the logo, the key art. Logo.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Yeah. So good. And it's cheap too. It's $13 full price, but like you can definitely get it on sale.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Another one that's very creative that I've been playing is LOK Digital. Have you played this?
No, I haven't.
So this is a kind of mind-bendy puzzle game. Basically what you do, it's almost like a crossword puzzle game. You spell out different words like LOK, and as you do that, it will turn those tiles from white to black, and then it will give you one space that you can black out. And the idea is you want to black out every tile on the puzzle. And so if you black out, so like let's say there's LOKK, then you can do LOK, and then you can use that black space to black out the K, and then you're cleared. So sometimes they will have like nested words or words that like cross each other, and you get all kinds of different words that you can build. Like there's some where you can like build certain words around corners, and then they'll give you several different spaces that you have to delete. So there will be a certain order that you'll have to do things in. It's very bizarre. I've not played a game like this. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, and if you're not quite sold, it looks like there's a demo on Steam.
Yes, there is. That's how I first played it. Yeah, so I highly recommend checking it out.
I think Team Deku Scott was talking about, or had added this to his wish list, because this seems like right up his alley. It looks like Team Deku Michael owns it already, so I don't know if he's played it, but I remember them adding it to their wish list, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. If you're really into like word puzzles, language, cryptic languages, like learning languages, that sort of thing, seems like this might be right up your alley. But I love games with demos, especially games that run on Windows and Mac.
Yes.
Like I love games that run on Mac because I just have my, like my M1 MacBook Air. It's not beefy, and I've got it, I take it with me everywhere, and I love being able to play games on it.
And I would recommend you play this on like a laptop where you got a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Because that can help.
Pro tip.
There's a word that you can build later on that lets you turn a tile into whatever letter you want. So
that's badass.
You can get real weird. You can get real freaky with it. But yeah, it's real cute, real fun, very silly.
Is that your lineup of games people should be paying attention to? Those all came out like late last year, right?
I
think so.
Did they?
December-ish.
I mean, yeah, I got some from this year. Tempest Rising and Rematch, which I did IGN previews for. Tempest Rising is basically Command and Conquer 4. So if you've been hungry for an RTS, this is it. Although I will say that I feel like it really delivers most from like the mechanical standpoint. The story is like, the stories in Command and Conquer were never like incredible.
No. Yeah,
they were not like StarCraft or whatever. But,
I don't even know the stories.
It's very like light touch story, but mechanically very, very fun. And also like kind of hard. The AI is really good in this game.
Interesting. Do you think we're going to see more RTSs on Switch with the mouse controls?
I hope so. I really think that we need more. I mean, this is something that I hope for all the other platforms as well. I really want PlayStation and them to let you use mouse and keyboard.
Next, they do, right? Like I know, especially Xbox, but I think
it's a game to game type of thing.
Yeah,
so like,
and that's the problem.
Yes. So like, I play Rivals on PC, and I use mouse and keyboard. I would play with friends on PlayStation, but the game doesn't allow mouse and keyboard. And the PlayStation doesn't like enable it or enforce it or anything like that. Yeah. So, and when games like Rivals don't have cross-platform competitive, where you have to be all on one platform to
it's a little limiting.
Like ranked mode, it's like, well, there's a lot of people that I can't play ranked with just because we're on a different input, and you won't let us be on the same input.
Yeah. Yeah, and and like you were saying, like it is game to game, developer to developer, because they have to like develop, they have to allow it, they have to develop for it. Yeah. And my hope is that with Switch, like Switch 2, with Nintendo pushing the mouse controls thing, that more developers will be baking it into their games when they're bringing it to Switch 2. And since they're already baking in mouse controls, like you might as well bake in mouse controls for the other consoles as well. Like my Series X is just underneath my computer desk, and I have a 42-inch LG, C3 or whatever as my monitor, so it's a little bit different. But it's nice just to be able to plug in a mouse and keyboard into my Xbox, and looking forward to more games supporting that.
Yeah, it's one day we will all be unified. We will all be mouse and keyboard enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But until then, some of the controller
Yeah.
Perverts will still persist.
Speaking of perverts, I picked up a PS3 recently.
Disgusting. I have one in my closet over there. Did I tell you when there were people doing like redoing the air conditioning unit in my house, they found a PS4 Pro in my attic?
What?
It doesn't work. So I don't know what to do with it, but they just found a PS4 Pro in my attic.
Because you're in Texas and it was probably got like resoldered because it was in your attic and it was probably like literally 200 degrees and it was like resoldering the parts. But I picked up a PS3 and, I've never played two games that I think are probably on a lot of lists of like everyone should play these games. And that is Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. And I've never played either of those.
You brought this up to the wrong guy.
Wait, you don't like them?
I am not a Team Eco fan.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I played the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, and I thought, like Killmonger from Black Panther. This is your king? Like, come on, you guys are talking about this as like one of the best games ever made. Like this game handles like crap.
Yeah, the handling in Eco is not fantastic, but I try to while I'm playing it, and I have been enjoying it quite a bit. While I'm playing it, I try to put myself in the shoes of like if I was playing this on PS2 in a time many moons ago. Like I think I would have been impressed. Like I'm enjoying it, but I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus, so who knows? I don't know. The what was that? It wasn't the Summer Game Show, the Game Awards when they showed off their new game. Well, they didn't show off the game.
Yeah.
They just showed off like the weird trailer of the kid climbing the head and like taking off on the head and I don't know what it's going to be. It looks sweet though.
Who knows? Who can say?
Let's see what else. What else have I been doing? Mostly dabbling, honestly. I bought a CRT.
Yeah.
And then I forgot how loud that squeal is.
Yeah.
It kills me. It hurts me. Yeah. I feel like I'm in Star Wars.
Well, if you want to take it back to CRT, I've been playing Doom and Doom 2.
So you haven't been playing Doom Eternal?
No,
Wait,
I've been playing Doom and Doom 2.
What's the Dark Ages? Doom the Dark Ages.
No, I have not been playing Doom the Dark Ages.
Doom and Doom 2. I've played them. I played Doom a bunch, but I've never beat it. I think I played and beat I'm all out of gum. Duke Nukem 3D.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun game. No.
Were you one of those that was just waiting around forever?
No.
For Duke Nukem?
No. And oh man, that just made me think of Half-Life 3, which there's more rumors now that like Half-Life 3 is apparently like
it's done and playable.
You can play
to
through the whole thing.
Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we already have
depressed.
Half-Life 3 and it's called Half-Life Alyx, but people don't want to have that.
So it's inaccessible though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I've played it. It's fantastic.
I have it and I haven't even played it.
But yeah, it's not that easy to play. Let's see. All right. Well, you got any final words? Any last games you want to plug before we
final
start
words? What are you gonna do? Drop me into a boiling vat of acid after this? I get to go home to my family. I have a child. Please.
No, final words before I let you go to sleep.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
yes.
Play Marvel Rivals with me. It's very fun.
Yeah, we'll set up some time. Post Japan.
I was putting that out to like your audience. Like they should all play Marvel Rivals with me. But yes, also you should play Marvel Rivals. Final words. Little babies are adorable. I love Andrew Wolf. He's also the man of my dreams. It's not just a one-way street, dear listener.
It's two-way street.
I have loved this man ever since he first gave me my first job in the games press. And now look at me. I got my own site.
I love it. I'm so excited for you, man. Skyboxcritics.com.
Yes, skyboxcritics.com.
And I'm going to convince you all to update your Bluesky to be skyboxcritics.com as well. It's super easy.
It is, I think.
Yeah, very easy.
It's not.
Yeah,
okay.
Just your alias.
Yeah. If you
it's very easy.
Okay. fun fact, I've been in charge of all the back end and all this sort of stuff, and I made the Bluesky.
no.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't know about site building and stuff like that. So like there are some bumps that I'm taking care of them, but yeah, this is there's no corporate overlords. It is just us doing the stuff that we want to do, writing about what we want to write about.
I'm so excited for that.
And yeah, we're going to have a Patreon coming up soon. So pay
Watch
attention
for
to
that. Yeah.
But yes, show me how to do the Bluesky thing and I will do that. That's a good idea.
Well, Brian, thank you so much. This is the final episode of Talk a Good Game, Season 1. Season 2 release date to be determined. Fun fact for all of you listeners, Brian and I recorded the very first test episode of Talk a Good Game, and the recording has been lost to the sands of time. Now, to be fair, this was early December, maybe even late November of 2024, well before the ball really got rolling with Talk a Good Game. But I'm glad that we were able to jump back on and record. And maybe if I can scavenge the recording, there is I'll release it as a secret episode, but especially there is a portion of the recording where I like strong arm you into giving me a sort of beatboxing of the Balatro music, of you sang the Balatro music. I don't even know. So
yes. See, I was just about to say, like, this was a good episode. It's a shame it wasn't as unhinged as that first one, because that first one was really wild. I think even with the quality, I think you have to release it as a secret episode.
Secret episode. It was an hour and 40 minutes long because
of just insane,
just unhinged.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Brian. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I hope to have you back on season 2.
Hey, any day. Just name the time, name the place. I'll be there.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Talk a Good Game. This show is produced by me, Andrew Wolf, in Seattle, Washington, with music by Plus Minus One and art by Sonny Ross. Find more good games, create a wishlist, and build your video game collection on DecoDeals.com. Deco Deals Patreon supporters experience the site and mobile app ad-free. Join now at patreon.com/DecoDeals. The best way to support TAGG is by leaving a review, and you can suggest a game to be featured on a future episode by sending an email to tagg@decodeals.com.